Tonight on The Ronnie Show.
Just didn't want to answer the doorbell, which I'm very much the same way, to be quite honest with you. I always look outside to see who's at the doorbell before I answer it. And usually if it's a stranger, I don't pay any attention to it. I just kind of let it go, because I don't know what they're telling me.
I woke up this morning, outside of bed. Don't have to scream. It feels like make a
Everybody, and welcome to the Ronnie Show. So glad you could be with us here today on this lovely Saturday afternoon. We have some things to talk about. So, yeah, well, it's kind of a lot, kind of isn't, but, yeah, so let's get talking. Okay. Thank you. Whoop, it's still a little crooked here. There we go. Thank you. I love you all. You filthy animals. No, I'm kidding. Home Alone reference there, obviously. I love Home Alone. But, yeah, so this week, some days were busier than others, I guess we can say. So we'll kind of get started out from last Saturday. Let's see. No, I don't think we did much of anything on Saturday. Like, we didn't go out anywhere or do anything like that, at least from what I can remember. Although I guess, well, did we go over to my uncle's house on Saturday? I don't remember, to be quite honest with you, what we did. But, yeah, it was kind of a quiet night. We'll just say that. And then Sunday is our we have this big thing, in our family called Thanksgiving in August. So basically what it is that all of the different relatives and stuff like that, we all meet for Thanksgiving, but it's basically 3 different families combined together to hold it. So yeah, that was kind of a nice thing, I guess. So yeah, we did that. That was on Sunday. A lot of people showed up. There was, I think, 69 people. So 69, yeah. No, all jokes aside though. Yeah, it was a great turnout. Although I gotta admit, half the people there, I had no idea who they were. I gotta be honest. Now, normally that will happen every year. You know, we get usually about a quarter of the people there, I don't know. But the fact that it was half this year, I mean, granted, there's only about 50 to 60 that go every single year. I mean, they had to set up extra tables because there were going to be a lot more people there, I guess. I don't know. But I guess in years past, I grossly underestimated how many people could fit in the main dining area because it took place at a church. So, yeah, I kind of thought we might have extended a little too much because it is for like my family and my extended family to come together. I think we extended. I mean, when you start to not know some of the people there and like when only like say probably 10 people out of the, 30 or whatever, and the whole entire family, I don't know what I'm trying to say. You get what I mean. Kind of like the regular family members that would be there anyway, that get together for all the holidays. I'll just say that. I mean, when a lot of my family members didn't even know who half the people were, that's when you're extending, I think, a little too much. Like, one family member might be, I don't know, a brother or someone or might have like a brother. However, the brother brought his wife and their children and like some of their cousins. Like, that's a little too much extending right there. I mean, yeah, sure. Or what should I say? No, I shouldn't say it like that. It's, you know, the one lady's brother. Okay, I'm sorry I'm making this sound confusing. I'm trying not to. But, you know, it would be one of the older people that was going to be running it. That's part of the family, you know. It would be her brother and their wife, but yet the wife would, like, bring her brother and that brother's children, if that makes sense. Because there is a lot of people, like I said, there's a lot of people there that I did not know. Way more than in years past, which, I mean, I guess they're family to me, but, you know, I know, you know, to me, you got to know who your family members are. I mean, what kind of relation you are to them. Like, I know my uncles, I know my aunts, I know my cousins. I know pretty much everybody on my extended family, like the great aunts and uncles and, you know, their children and their grandchildren. Like, I know who all of them are. But when we start, and then there's another part of my family, so it's almost like we have family A, family B, and family C. And I think family C was related to my grandpa, Nesham, that's their last name. I think my grandpa was in some way related to them. I think that, at least what my mom said. I think that's what the thing was. But yeah, so I'm not totally related to them, but, you know, I consider them family, and, you know, so yeah, that's basically that. So yeah, I think there might have been a little too much extending, but you know what? It could have been worse. We could have had 200 people there for all we know, and God only knows we'd all be crunched together. I mean, we already kind of were all crunched together. I mean, because there's, I don't know, maybe 11-ish tables. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. I'd say there's probably about 8 or 9 round tables. There's 6 chairs on each table, so that's about 54. They had to put out a couple of more long tables, so that was probably, yeah, you get 4 on each. That's about 16. 54 plus 16 is 70, so we were about right with the math, so that's good. So yeah, all you know, all of that aside about, you know, the family and stuff like that, it was a great time. It always is a great time. You know, we love to eat. At least I love to eat, obviously, as you can tell by my physique. But I'm kidding. Yeah, I just love to eat. So anywhere where there's food, I'm there. Whether it's family, friends, what have you. And then Monday, that was kind of, we were all kind of hungover from that. Like, Well, the funny thing was Sunday, so I actually went home with my uncle and my aunt, just because, you know, my grandma, she was going to be staying there for quite a while, and knowing my grandma, it was at least probably going to be another couple, 2 to 3 hours before she got home, and it was honestly about 5 hours, because we left, let's see, my uncle and my aunt, and I, and we actually had to take home one of my great uncle and aunt's children, because, you know, they were all talking and blah, 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 and he didn't want to stay there either. Thank God I wasn't the only one. So we brought him home, and then my uncle and aunt, we all went home together. And it was, I think it was around 2:30, 2:45 when we left, but we didn't get on the road till 3, because like we said, we had to drop off one of my relatives at home. So when we got back, it was, well, right around 4 o'clock. Both my cousins were home. So I kind of hung out with them. Well, my one cousin. I kind of hung out with him and kind of talked about what was going on and you know, kind of what happened all day with the meeting. So yeah, that was kind of, or with our family reunion, I guess you could call it. So yeah, that was kind of fun. And then we went back home. Well, me and him actually went back here together. He kind of dropped me off because obviously I didn't have my own car. So, because it was parked in the garage. So he brought me back home, and it probably wasn't, yeah, it was about, because I got home right about 6:30, and my grandma had got home right around 7:30. So, and I hadn't had dinner yet because I was still kind of, I wasn't really all that hungry, to be quite honest with you. So, you know, and my grandma didn't even notice I was there. She thought I was still at my uncle and aunt's place, just because I don't know why, but no, I had been there, like I said, for about an hour by the time she had gotten home. So yeah, that was fun. And then well, no, we're still on Sunday, and I guess we were gonna, my grandma and I still had a leaf blower that belonged to them. So we were going to give it to them up in Mitchell. Forgot to do it. So later on that night, we went back over to my uncle and aunt's house and we gave them back the leaf blower. So yeah, although it was kind of funny at first, because even though everybody was home, and I knew everybody was home because at this point it was 8:30 at night on a Sunday night. So, and my cousin, I think he had work the next day and, you know, blah, blah, blah. So we had went over, we knew everybody was going to be home. However, when we rang the doorbell, nobody answered, and we thought that was, or at least I thought it was kind of strange. So then we rung it again, still no answer. So we just kind of left the leaf blower sit there on the rocks, and then all of a sudden my uncle comes out, and it was kind of weird because we were already at the car. We were about to get in and leave, but no, I guess they were downstairs in the basement and they didn't hear us ring the doorbell 2 times. My other cousin who lives there, she actually went down and got my uncle and aunt and brought them up. So, or at least my uncle. My aunt, I think, stayed in the basement. But we thought my cousin was in the living room anyway, but he just didn't want to answer the doorbell, which I'm very much the same way, to be quite honest with you. I always look outside to see who's at the doorbell before I answer it. And usually if it's a stranger, I don't pay any attention to it. I just kind of let it go because I don't want what they're selling me, what they're trying to sell me at least. So we just kind of, well, at that point, like I said, we were about to leave, and then my uncle came out, and of course all it took was probably half an hour or so, and you know, because they talked and talked and talked and talked some more, because of course they did. And my cousin kept peering at us through the one window. Like he would, here, I'll give you an example. So we'll say you guys at home are the window. You know, he'd come out and he'd look and blah, blah, blah. Then he'd kind of walk back and keep doing whatever he was doing back over here. 5 minutes later, he'd come back and peer out the window. Then he'd walk away for a little while. Then he'd come back and, well, he kept on doing this off and on. And my uncle is like, he's such a, I can't remember what term he used, but I don't remember what term he used, but it was like, it was some form of sneak, I think. It was something like, I don't know. But I will say, he's always kind of wondering about things, to be quite honest, and so am I. Gosh, I don't remember what the word was, and I know I'm gonna know it once I look it up. It wasn't sneak, it was something else. Snoozer? No, that wasn't it. Snoop, I think that was it. It was something like that. And I will say, I can agree with that. Because kind of, you know, when I was still living in Sioux City and me and my mom and whoever would come up for, you know, certain events, and I would come up here for about a week or a week and a half, and I'd go and me and my cousin would hang out. He would always go like, oh, what time did you wake up this morning? Oh, what did you have for breakfast? Oh, what did you have for dinner last night? Like, it was, oh, what colored shirt did you wear yesterday? Like, no. Thank God it never got that far. But it was just, you know, what'd you do yesterday? What'd you have for breakfast? What time did you get up? What time did you go to bed? You know, it was like that. So that, which was fine. But it got, you know, year after year, my routine hadn't really changed. And I think one year I kind of told him, like, don't you know my routine already? Like, anyway. You gotta love this family and my cousins. You really have to. But anyway, so that was Sunday. Monday, didn't do much. Didn't really do anything on Monday, to be quite honest with you. And then Tuesday, that was fun. Because Tuesday, basically what happened was, well, we have a storage unit here in town. And just from all the stuff from the old house down in Sioux City. And we didn't go down there. We just kind of rearranged some things in the storage shed so that we could, you know, we could fit some more things in there, because we're getting down to, we're in basically one level of the house in terms of cleaning it out. So, yeah. And we're that close to selling it too. So that'll be, I'll kind of explain more, because I have a big plan coming up, because I'm going back down tomorrow. today's Friday as we're filming this. So I kind of have a big plan in terms of what I want to do. So that'll be... So basically what we did to make room for more stuff, we pretty much just stacked things even higher, because of course we did. And then we... what should I say? Yeah, that was it. Then we got lunch and kind of just stayed home the rest of the day up until dinner time. Yes, because we found out, although my grandma had said something to me about it, I think right when I moved up here. I think it was, I hadn't been here like a week. And we were driving by this one restaurant that's a few blocks away, probably about a mile and a half away from here, and it's kind of like a bar and casino type place, but they have trivia on Tuesday nights. Now, as you know, I love game shows, and that's pretty much all I watch on TV: game shows and sports and reality competition shows. That's about all I watch on TV when it comes to TV. I never got into dramas or sitcoms, although I do watch Saturday Night Live, which is scripted, obviously, but they call it a variety show. It's not really all that variety. It's just sketch comedy. That's what it is. A variety show is kind of like the old show the Hispanic show, Sábado Gigante, which we based Gigantic the Saturday, Gigantic the series off of. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So we found out they have trivia Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock. So we went there, and it's 8 rounds. It's 8 rounds, but the thing is, there's only 3 questions plus a bonus question in each round. So, yeah. However, it was kind of strange because they'd ask the question, and by the way, each category, or each round was a different category. Like, they had to name that tune, they had a history thing, I think they had a movie / pop culture type thing. Celebrity category, Trisha Payta's new baby, Aquaman, which should not be as big as it is, because, she doesn't deserve any fame, in my opinion. Nor does any of those people that are just famous for being famous, except for Gemma Collins from the UK. She's freaking awesome. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So they'd ask the question, and then you'd have a full song. They'd play a full song in between each question. So you basically got 3 to 3.5 minutes to think about an answer, and for them to come and pick it up and total tally everything. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know any songs in the Name That Tune, but I knew pretty much every single song that played in between each question. And I was singing along to all of them, because it was basically all pop music from the 2010s, basically all the big pop songs from the 2010s. Like, there was Ed Sheeran, there was Katy Perry, there was Demi Lovato, there was One Direction, stuff I grew up with. It was all there, and I was jamming, singing along, and dancing. They were probably getting tired of me doing that by about the 7th round, but, hey, I just love music. I love music, okay? 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s, I love it all. So, yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I don't think I do it every Tuesday night, and I told the group chat, our family group chat, that, but for sure, maybe once every other week, or once every 2 weeks, once a month even, I'd be up for doing it. So that was Tuesday. Wednesday, didn't do much. Thursday, my grandma has a cleaning lady that comes over every other Thursday, so she came, and we basically ran a few errands. I don't remember where all we went, but we went to the storage unit, we went to Goodwill, went to a couple of other places, and then Thursday night for dinner, my grandma has a group of old folks she goes out with on Thursday nights, and I've joined the party too, so that's been nice. So last night, as we're filming this, we went to a Mexican restaurant. Now, I love Mexican food. I mean, I like all kinds of food, but Mexican food, when done right, so good. So we went to this Mexican restaurant. I had never heard of it before. It's called Inca's. It was really great food. I mean, the staff was so friendly. They were always on it with napkins, silverware, our food. Like, our guy who's taking the order, I think he's the owner of the place, but he kind of went around and took everyone's order, and he did it all by memory, and he got all of our orders right, which which the lady at Applebee's, when we went there last week, she did that. It was kind of like, whoa. So, so we did that, and it was really good. It was really good. I had a bean burrito, which was kind of a dumb thing to have because there was beans and rice too. I was like, why did I order a bean burrito? But I just did because my dumb, was, I don't know what I was thinking. However, and it was good. It was good. Got back. Everything sat well. We did the stream, obviously. So, however, I went to bed, probably it was right a little after 1 o'clock. However, I got up at like 3:15 and my stomach was hurting so much. So, thank God it's only 5 steps from my bed to me sitting on the toilet. So, quite literally, I think I took 5 steps because I was in a hurry because I needed to basically unload. And if I didn't within 10 seconds, well, but yeah, I sat down. It was almost like I was peeing out of my butthole. Like, it was so bad. I mean, well, it didn't start off like that. It was just like the little chunks when you have diarrhea. I apologize if you're eating food right now, but it was just, I was on there for 10 minutes and it just would almost not stop. Like, it got to the point where my feet were falling asleep and like they were all red and stuff from me just sitting there. But gosh, I don't know what it was, but it all hit me. Well, if it happened during the stream, I would have been gone 20 minutes. Like, it was that bad. Like, oh my. And when I got up this morning, it was all right. It was all right. But once because I ordered a bean burrito. If I would have had like a chicken burrito, I probably would have ate it all there. However, since I got a bean burrito, I had all those beans in my stomach and it was killing me. It was killing me. So I had my leftover for lunch. And ever since then, I mean, I've probably gone and did not quite the same thing, but only about 5 minutes long, like maybe 3 or 4 times since then in the last 4 hours since I ate it. And yeah, I mean, my stomach is still doing backflips right now. So we have a drugstore here that's about a couple of miles, right next to Lucky's actually, where we went for the trivia on Tuesday night. And I got me some Pepto-Bismol and it's starting to feel better. I start to feel better and I'm going to have to go to a potluck here in about 15 minutes. So, yeah, I've been feeling better all day, but yeah, it is not, it's been an unpleasant 15 hours for me. I don't know if I'll go there again, but I'm not going to have anything planned the rest of the night if I do go there again. Because, oh gosh, that messed up my insides so bad. I probably dropped about 5 to 10 pounds. It was that bad. Oh my God. It was it felt like I had gotten food poisoning because I thought maybe I was going to throw up while I was sitting there on the toilet. I thought I was going to throw up because it was like right here. I could feel it and I knew it was going to be coming at any second, but it didn't go out like that. So, that was good. I couldn't even tell you the last time I actually did throw up, to be quite honest with you. It's probably been 8 years, I would guess, because I know I did in 4th grade one night because my father was working, putting the ice in for the Muskies to play. So, and that night for his dinner break, we went to a restaurant that's like, we went to a Hard Rock restaurant. Even though you're supposed to be 21 to be in there, they do have like a restaurant in there, which people of all ages can go to. So we went to that. And so we got back and it was probably 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I had a Mike Wazowski plushie from Monsters Inc. No reason. I just loved stuffed animals. I mean, my parents we never had a pet, like a furry pet. So I have all those stuffed animals that you see during all of my game shows. Those were like my pets. Those are like my pets. So I was I don't know if I was holding them or whatever, but it was during the middle of the night. And I got puke all over him. And I felt so bad. bad. I felt so bad because I was crying and crying. Like, my parents were, upset that I threw up basically all the way. Like, I basically carved a pathway in my own vomit from my bed straight to the bathroom. And they were so bad that I was worried about my Mike Wazowski plush. And they were not upset that, I had gotten it all over the floor, but, that was just, but you know what, I got to sleep out on the couch for the rest of the night, and I didn't have to go to school the next day, so, whoopee, it was all worth it in the end. So, yeah, gosh. Well, I already kind of laid out the plans for tonight. I'm going to a potluck here in about 10 minutes now, and yeah, my grandma's retirement community, they have a potluck every so often, so I'm going to be going to that here shortly. And tomorrow, like I said, I'll be going down to Sioux City. I'm going to be filming tomorrow down in our old studio, the final ever video down in that studio. It's going to be so sad. We're going to share a whole bunch of memories and stuff, and that'll air on Thursday, August 21st. That'll be the day of, the final little bit of programming here on my channel before, because I'm going to be going on it's going to be a hiatus. I don't know for how long, but just so I can get settled into college, because I move in 2 days later into college. So, so I'll be going on a hiatus. I hope it won't last long, because, the exes, they're doing so well right now that, we got to be there to cover it. So, I'm thinking 2 weeks minimum. 2 weeks minimum. However, if I don't do anything, it probably won't be until October 3rd for the Musketeers home opener, when I'm back on from hiatus. Which I'll do a full community tab post, and that night, the final video. Because we'll have one final video from the studio, and then after that, I'll go live for one last time before I go on hiatus. So that'll basically be how that goes. So, yeah, I'll film that tomorrow. That'll air August 21st. And so it'll be 2 weeks from yesterday as we're filming this. So, yeah, we're going to have a lot of good memories being shared. That is for sure. I mean, it won't be the final time I myself will be in the studio, because I want to do like one final walkthrough recording it, and I know it's going to be sad and emotional moment, but when I come back, we'll kind of share that with all of you, and because we might potentially have a buyer for the house, so we kind of gotta, and the insurance is going to run out on it, so we kind of have to hurry it up and get it sold. So at least that's our goal. So yeah, like I said, I'll be going down tomorrow. I'm sure a lot of us will be making a trip or two down to get all the rest, because like I said, we're pretty much down to the basement at this point, and all we, I think, really need is one full day, maybe 2 full days at the max, to get everything cleared out and do all that. So yeah, I know it's a lot for someone like me to handle, but you know what, I've learned a lot of things, and I've got pretty much the greatest support system that really anybody could ask for in times like these. So I'm really thankful for that. And yeah. I now, every time, me, my cousins, my family, we all hang out and have dinner and stuff, I cherish those moments, because like that, it can be taken away. Oh God. Why am I crying now? August 21st, there will be a lot of crying, but let's save our tears for that. But yeah, because in a moment, it could all be taken. Oh my God, I better stop. It could all be taken away. And that's really what I've learned this past year, because one moment things can seem fine, I'm doing well, I'm at my high, and then all of a sudden, boom, something happens and your life's changed forever. I mean, I know it happens, but in the way it's been to me and such, I mean, it's really been bad. But you know what? I feel like I'm going at my high. Like I said, I try to cherish every moment I have with my family and friends and all that, because, like I said, can all be taken away in a snap of a finger, just like that. 1 second, you're doing fine, you're at your high. Next second, boom, tragedy. So, yeah, I know it's really sad, and I don't want to do this. I want to go to commercial break and be happy. But, yeah, hey, we do have something positive, though. Some news. As you know, we've had some internet issues the last couple of shows we've done, with Gigantic Friday last week and Gigantic Thursday this past Thursday night. So what's going to happen is that tonight, what I've decided to do is that I'm combining both last Friday night's game, all the footage we have for that, and then Thursday night's game. I'm combining all the footage for that. So you're going to have 5 hours plus worth of baseball airing all night tonight, starting at 7 Eastern time. I didn't give a note in the first broadcast, but I will in the second one, just saying, you know, hey, what I've done, blah, blah, blah. Because it's cut out. In each game, there's been about 30 minutes cut out because of all the internet technical difficulties we've had. So I'll note that, too, in the video as well. So, yeah. There! I'm done crying! We'll take a break. We'll be right back. One of you at home can win over $10,000. Now, you'll be crying happy tears for that. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody, to the show. It is now time to play some games. Yes, for one of you all to win a whole bunch of money at home. So here's the first part of our game. It is spin the wheel. So basically, we're going to try and win as much cash as we possibly can. So let's do it. 5 spins. That's all we get, but we can win a lot with those 5 spins. Double. Okay, well, would have liked to have hit that a little earlier, or a little sooner, but a little earlier. That was only our first spin. Oh, is it going to get... Okay, $60. I thought it was maybe going to hit the jackpot. With that, $500. Okay, we'll take that. 562 spins left. Here we go. Ooh, jackpot. That'd be nice now. It's going to be $90, so we're up to 650. 1 spin left. Let's get that jackpot now, because why not? Oh, $10. Well, when we add that on, that is $660. So, that's what you get from that game. Now, we are going to play Slope. Now, it's going to be $10 per point. And, yeah, so we'll add on to whatever. Well, we'll add that on to the 660. Oh, okay. We're going to do a redo on that one just because that was a little funky. All right, we're doing good so far. Oof. It's $120 right now. Oh, and then I did that. Well, we will add $130, giving us $790. That's going to go to one of you at home. In fact, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to determine whether or not we're going to be adding to that. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Alrighty, welcome back, everybody. So we are going to determine whether or not we're going to be adding to that $790 already for one of you at home. So let's spin it. Yes, ooh, so it could be anywhere from between $1,000 and $10,000. Let's see how much it is. So, of course, I got to write down all the amounts naturally here. Okay, we're going to mix them around too. So, there we go. Oh, just went by the 10, but into $3,000. Yeah. So that'll go. $3,790 will go to one of you at home. So call 090-11323-000, 090-11323-000 or text the word WIN to 84444. Lines will close at midnight Eastern time tonight, so make sure you get your votes in. Boy, confetti flying everywhere around here. Yeah, and apologies that we did not get the video out on Saturday. I ran out of time in terms of filming on Friday, so yeah, that's why you're getting it on Monday. So yeah, but I'm sure it was well worth the wait. We'll take a break and wrap things up after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. So what did we learn here tonight? I think it's that don't order a bean burrito if beans and rice come on the side. Makes sense. See you next time. Thank you.
Closed captioning is brought to you in part by